You're about to watch a Trains Newswire video. If you enjoy what you see, consider watching some of our other full-length videos. Selling Sunshine, the Florida Trains. Locomotive 2017, a video companion to our best-selling annual issue. Big Steam is back. All of these and more are available from our website, kalmbachhobbystore.com.
Good morning, Trains Nation. Today is Friday, April 13th. Dun, dun, dun.
Till midnight.
Till midnight. Welcome to another episode of Trains Newswire Roundup. I'm Steve Sweeney.
Hi, I'm Jim Wrinn. There are lots of news stories on our website this week. All kinds of things, steam locomotives, major pronouncements by Class 1 railroads executives.
Yep.
My
lawsuits,
gosh, lawsuits, and lawsuits.
I was going to say, you know, sometimes we come up with a theme for this week. My theme is surprise.
Yeah, I would agree with that one there.
Yeah.
Where do you start? I mean, there's so much going on this week.
Shoot, let's start with something happy. Here was a good happy surprise. 4449.
Yeah.
Monday morning.
Yep.
By Monday morning, 4449. It's a 484 North. It's a daylight locomotive, steam locomotive.
Yep. Running orange and red. Yep. Gorgeous stuff.
Portland, Oregon. Running out of Portland, Oregon, up the Columbia River Gorge, and the rail fan network sort of lit up. What happened? By the end of Monday and early into Tuesday, we found out that the daylight locomotive is being used by a video crew doing an IMAX film documentary on Class 1 railroads,
right,
and particularly in the Columbia River Gorge. And BNSF Railway has been negotiating with this crew for like 3 years. And it's going to be running, it has run all this week, and we're getting photos trickling in from people who've been able to see it. It's a fantastic story.
It is cool. And they kept it a really good secret. In fact, you know, some of our friends that work out at BNSF even told us they didn't know about it until the engine just showed up.
That's right. And wait, where are your orders for this?
Yeah, and they said, well, there's a locomotive behind me, by the way. So,
yeah.
The folks putting this together is Stephen Lowe, who did the Rocky Mountain Express train, very epic IMAX film a few years ago about building the Canadian Pacific across the Rockies. And if this is half as good as that one, you're going to love it.
It's going to be very good.
It really is good.
We should do that with him. We should do a video with him.
We should. We should. Probably about a heroic Trains magazine staff.
Yeah, I like
all
that.
the things they do.
Yeah.
But yeah, really cool stuff out in the Columbia River Gorge, and in another gorge all the way across the country. There was some hints that the New River Gorge train might live to another day.
That's right.
You know, last month Amtrak announced that it was not going to do special charters or special trains anymore, and going to restrict severely its private car moves. And we heard from government officials in West Virginia this week that they may have reached a compromise with Richard Anderson at Amtrak to keep the New River train going into its 51st year, which would be fantastic.
It would be fantastic. Well, let's stay on Amtrak for a second.
Yeah.
There are a couple of surprises with Amtrak. Amtrak officials today, I believe it was this week, Stephen Gardner, said in a hearing before Congress that, yep, it looks like they're going to really scrutinize what routes they run on after the PTC deadline come December 31st, and probably not saying never, but probably not run on routes that are exempt from PTC. So little short lines here and there that connect Class 1 main lines. We're looking at the Empire Builder, the Cardinal, and a few others.
Yeah. I was at the Short Line Association meeting in Nashville earlier this week, and I attended a seminar about passenger trains on your short line. And the folks from the Buckingham Branch Railroad in Virginia, who host the Cardinal, said, you know, they don't have to do PTC, and they're probably not going to do PTC. So we wonder, I wonder now, where that leaves the Cardinal. So an interesting and developing story there.
Well, from short lines back to Amtrak and short routes, short trains, Amtrak CEO Richard Anderson apparently said to employees in March, we've got a story up on this week, that they're looking to replace their P-42 locomotives and Amfleet coaches with newer equipment. And that could be new locomotives and coaches, or it could even be DMUs, diesel multiple units. Based on, he said, similar to what was used near San Francisco on the SMART, Sonoma Marin transportation, and also DART. Dallas Area Transportation, Dallas Area Rapid Transit. So that's kind of interesting. I would love to see some DMUs, maybe 5 or 6 car DMUs bounce between Milwaukee and Chicago, maybe between Minneapolis and Chicago, maybe, you know, Atlanta, Jacksonville, Atlanta, Charlotte. That could be fun.
Now, when he talks about DMUs, does that also include equipment like Brightline, the Siemens-built train set that's basically integral?
Well, it's, I don't know. It's not strictly a DMU because you could take the locomotives off.
Right.
But it could be. I mean, Siemens, if you want to talk about DMUs available in the United States today, if you want to talk about passenger train sets available in the U.S. today.
That'd be a nice one.
It's a nice one.
And all you have to do is send your order in right now.
Yeah, call Siemens. Operators are standing by.
Yeah, they're there.
They're pretty much the game in town. So,
cool.
They could import it from Switzerland, but we'll see. I mean, it's just
cool.
an interesting development.
And the P-42s, they've done their duty. I mean, my gosh.
Yes.
And they're, I see them out, and they really are workhorses. They've performed quite well. And my gosh, it'd be good to see them get a little bit of relief.
it would be good to see them, doing parade service on at a museum somewhere.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah,
indeed.
Let's see here. Metra in Chicago has asked the Surface Transportation Board to declare them a railroad under jurisdiction so that the STB could intervene in a fight with Amtrak over Chicago Union Station. It's convoluted, it's complicated, I'm not going to explain it all here, but basically Metra, the Chicago Commuter Railroad, is asking federal regulators to dive in and get in the middle of a dispute with them and Amtrak.
Even though it's been a railroad for 40 years now, they want to be declared a railroad.
Right, they want to be declared a railroad and regulated by the Surface Transportation Board. It's an interesting fight. As I put on Facebook earlier this week, get your popcorn. This isn't going to be over anytime soon.
And good luck to Metra. Always be careful. Yeah. You might get what you want.
That's true.
That's a biggie there. Back in Nashville at the Shortline show, Matt Rose participated in an interesting Q&A, and he talked some interesting things. We've got those on Newswire about battery-powered locomotives.
I saw that.
He says he's getting interest from environmental regulators in California who would love to have a zero-emissions locomotive. And so he responded to a question about natural gas-fueled locomotives and said, maybe we should just jump over to batteries. So interesting little take there.
What was the response in the room like?
I think I heard a gasp.
Yeah. Battery-powered locomotives.
There was a gasp.
Why not?
So
why not?
Check that one out. And I think we may have some video from Matt's appearance later on.
We are working on that this week. Yeah,
so
we're going to hopefully get that up by the end of today. Just a special note. It's a tight labor market out there right now, and there's lots of jobs available. But if you've ever thought about working for the federal government,
now's the time.
Now's the time.
Here's your opportunity.
The Federal Railroad Administration sent us a note saying, hey, by the way, Trains Magazine, we'd like you to let your readers and viewers know that there are more than 100 positions for inspecting jobs and analyst jobs all over the country. Go to the jobs website for the federal government. We got a short news story on that on Newswire. It's open and available, and we promote it at least once. We'll promote it again by the end of today. Hey, go ahead, take a look. And if you're a rail fan and you're an inspector, maybe you could slip us a tip every now and then.
It was, yeah. And it's not just in Washington, D.C., right?
No.
It's all over the place.
Right, yeah. There's some in the metro New York City area in Connecticut. There's a couple in the Midwest. I didn't see one specifically for California or the Southwest, but they are all over the place. And one thing that the federal government often does is they'll post a job opportunity for 2 or 3 positions, and then they will hold on to your resume and your information for the next time a job opening happens. So supposedly 100 job openings this year.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
I had one more steam item I wanted to throw out there,
Absolutely.
which was that Southern Pacific 282 down there in New Orleans, the 745. The group that is in charge of that one says they've worked out a deal with a short line down there to put the locomotive on a hopper car train, or a covered hopper train of 110 cars sometime late this month or early in May.
It's going to be great.
And a little display and a little demonstration of what steam power can still do. So pretty cool stuff. We'll keep watching on Newswire for the specific date on that and how you can help sponsor that operation.
Absolutely. Another surprise. Today's broadcast sponsored by Hotspots, the fabulous magazine from Trains Magazine editors about the best places to go watch, view, and appreciate trains all over the United States. So pick it up today.
When I was in Nashville, I had an afternoon free, and so I grabbed one of the other folks at the show, and we went down to the Gulch in downtown Nashville and checked it out. And we were there for only about maybe a half hour, 45 minutes, and we caught six mainline trains and one local going through there. It was a really nice show. Yep, and we were up on the Kane Avenue Bridge and just had a nice view, and it was a little blustery and a little cool for spring in Nashville, but overall pretty good.
Yeah, that's good. And you found it out because of Hotspots?
Because of Hotspots.
That's right. For everyone at Trains Magazine, have a great weekend.
Stay dry. Let's rock and roll out of here. all sorts of fish to be fried and
springtime in Siberia.
Springtime in Siberia.
That's what it feels like to me.